Yo, my YouTube family, sending love and blessings to you wherever you are, whatever time you're watching this. Um, Today we're going to take 40 verses on reality by Sri Ramana Maharshi. And this is a really, really powerful book. Ramana Maharshi, as you know, one of the greatest saints in the past 1 century that's been there. And what I like about Sri Ramana Maharshi is he gets down to the root cause of all ignorance, which is the ego, the I thought. And he's known famously for his book, Who Am I? But this book of his is very powerful as well. A small book, just about 75 pages of this small size. And I'm going to read out 10 of the first 10 verses, and let's see what I can add on to what he said from my side. So, verse number 1, awareness is all, the seer and the seen, the real and apparent. Awareness is all, the seer and seen, the real and apparent. So, awareness is everything. Everything is in awareness. The real and the illusion. The real and the apparent, the seer and the seen. I'll come back and explain them. Let me go through the first 10 as well. Verse number 2, the triad, God, soul and word, is the creation of the ego and disappears with the ego. Verse number 3, speculations about God and word avail nothing. Self-realization is the heart's cry of all. Verse number 4, form and formlessness of God depend on the ego's conception of itself. Nice. Verse number 5, the word is the body, inclusive of the 5 sheets, for without them the word cannot be conceived or perceived. The 5 sheets, Panchakosha. Verse number 6, the word is what the mind conceives through the senses. Straightforward. Verse number 7, the word rises and sets with the knowledge of it. Both have their source in the self. Makes me smile when I read this. It's so beautiful. Verse number 8, any sincere worship eventually leads to realization. Verse number 9, the dyads and triads are supported by the one, which can be discovered by inquiry. Alright. Verse number 10, knowledge and ignorance are interrelated. Real knowledge arises by inquiring, for whom both knowledge and ignorance occur. Alright, these are the first 10 verses. Now, beautiful, beautiful. If I just go back to verse number 1, awareness is all, the seer and seen, the real and apparent. So, awareness, I hope you know what awareness is simply. Just the quality of being aware, the thing that tells you that you know, you are aware. Awareness, when we add the suffix ness after a word, so awareness, whenever we add the suffix ness, it means the quality of the word that it precedes. So awareness would mean the quality of being aware. Just like consciousness would mean the quality of being conscious. You can add this ness to anything, so we usually use words like isness. So the quality of being is. Any word that you can take and add ness to it, it means the quality of that. So we can say, we can take an apple and say the appleness. So the quality of being an apple without the apple. So awareness, the quality of being aware, is all. The seer and the seen. So the person that sees and whatever you see, whatever is real and whatever is apparent, an illusion, is all within awareness. Awareness is, like, you can call it the container of everything. It's like the ocean contains all the waves. The ocean itself is not another wave. And the reality of both ocean and wave is nothing but water. the reality. So awareness is all, the seer and seen, the real and apparent. Number 2, the triad, God, soul, and the word, is the creation of the ego and disappears with the ego. The ego means the I thought, me, I, that I am an individual, I am a separate being from everything else around me. So the triad, God, the creator of the universe, soul, what I am, and the word. So there is me, there is a creation, and obviously there must be a creator. If I see a creation, there must be a creator. So me, the creator, and the creation. He says, all these three arise, they are the creation of the ego and disappear with the ego. So your I thought, that one I that says I, this is I, that creates the division between this, the universe, and God. If that I were not to arise, the universe, God, and this would all be one and the same. Try it out. Verse number 3, speculations about God and word avail nothing. Self-realization is the cry's heart. This is the heart's cry of all. That's what everyone yearns. Everyone is yearning to know who they are, what their purpose of life is, why they're here, where they're going to go after this. So, speculations about God and the world avail nothing. You can go and look for God. You can go and try to solve everything that's in the world. They avail nothing. Until you do not know who you actually are, you'll keep looking. They avail nothing. Start your search. Start your quest from within. Within, looking for who it is that has the thirst to find out. Verse number 4, form and formlessness of God depend on the ego's conception of itself. So, God is worshipped with form, God is worshipped without form, formless, and there are those that say God is nothing. I'm absolutely okay with all of them. Form, all forms are that of God. Formless, none of them is the form of God. Perfect. There is nothing like God. Absolutely correct. There is only God. Absolutely correct. It all depends on what is your conception, what is your the concept of God. What does the word God mean to you? It all depends on that. For somebody, God would be male. So for somebody it would be a power. For somebody, it would be a person. For somebody, it could be energy. It all depends on that. So it can be with form, it can be without form. It can be the only thing that exists, it can be absolutely non-existent. It all depends on your conception. And whose conception? The ego's conception. That's what he's saying here. Number 5, the world is the body inclusive of the 5 sheets, for without them the world cannot be conceived or perceived. The world is the body inclusive of the 5 sheets. The body has 5 sheets. In the Taittiriya Upanishad, they talk about the Pancha Kosha, the 5 koshas, 5 sheets that cover the individual soul. And these are 5 like coverings of the soul. And they start with number 1. So if somebody was to ask you, who or what are you? You'd say, oh, this is me. And you're pointing to your body. So the Upanishad says, okay, let's have a look. This is the body. This is the first sheath. It's called Annamaya Kosha. The food sheath, it's made of food. Now if we go deeper within, we'll find life energy. There's life running through the entire body. That's called prana. It's called the Pranamaya Kosha. It's the life force, the vital sheath. Then, subtler than that, we have the Manomaya Kosha, which is the mind, the thinking mind, the one that is weighing out options. Should I, shouldn't I, this or that, I think I will, I don't know, I'm not sure, I think I still need to, undecisive. That's the Manomaya Kosha, that's the mind. It's called the mental sheath. That's the third sheath. Subtler than that is the Vijnanamaya Kosha, which is the intellectual sheath. It's the intellect. It's the part of the mind which understands or does not understand. It is the one that says, yeah, okay, got it, I understood it, I got it, or I've decided, or I didn't understand, I know that I didn't understand. And anything that you have arrived to as a conclusion is part of your intellect. That's the fourth sheath. It's subtler than the mental sheath. And then beyond the intellect is the Anandamaya Kosha, which is the bliss sheath, where there is no thought and there's just absolute calm, bliss, happiness. You experience that in deep sleep when there is no thought at all. The ego and the mind have gone to sleep or they are inactive. And these are the five sheets. So he's talking about them. The word is the body inclusive of the five sheets, for without them the word cannot be conceived or perceived. So without these five sheets you cannot experience the word. So the word is nothing but what this experience is of the external world beyond the body. Verse number 6. The word is what the mind conceives through the senses. So almost the same thing. Whatever we see, hear, taste, touch and smell, our five senses, that's what, in fact, these are the only five senses that give us knowledge about the outside world, the universe. So without the five senses, we would not know what is outside. We can only infer. But if you want to directly know, then you've got to see, you've got to hear, you've got to smell, taste and touch. That's the way you probably have been all your life. If I see it, it must be real. If I hear it, it must be real. If I smell it, it must be real. If I taste it, it must be real. And if I touch it, how can it not be real? So we take the outside world to be real based on our five senses. Verse number 7. The world rises and sets with the knowledge of it. Both have their source in the self. So the word rises and sets with the knowledge of it. So how does it rise and set with the knowledge of it? All knowledge is within the mind. So whatever you know, when they say everything, the mind is everything, or everything is in the mind, it's literally true. It is literally true. Everything that you know, that you feel, that you do, everything about your life is known by you in your mind in the form of thoughts and experience. Now, the world rises and sets with the knowledge of it. Both have their source in the self. The source of that mind, the source of that ego that says I am experiencing, is from the self. What is the self? Beyond the five sheets, that consciousness, awareness, existence, Satchitananda, Brahman, call it what you want. That is the source of both knowledge and ignorance. Right. Verse number 8. Any sincere worship eventually leads to realization. That is absolutely true. I've been through this myself. Sincere worship. The catch word here is sincere. It's got to be sincere. It's got to be real. And worship eventually leads, because if it's sincere, then whichever deity, whichever higher power that you are worshipping will come forth and help you, guide you to realize the truth. Verse number 9. The dyads and the triads are supported by the one, which can be discovered by inquiry. Dyads means two, D-Y-A-D-S. Dyads and triads means three. So in most of the scriptures, this is the dilemma faced by everybody. So they are either two things or they are three things. They are opposites. Everything has an opposite. Or if you look at it from your personal point of view, then everything is three. So opposites how? If there's good and bad, there's tall and short, there's near and far. Everything has an opposite. And how are triads created? There's me, the world and the creator, the creation and the creator. Or there's me, the knower, there's an object known, and there's knowledge between. There's the seer, the seen, and the experience of seeing. So these are triads. Now he says they are all supported by the one, because they arise simultaneously. Things and thoughts arise simultaneously. You don't see things and then have a thought, and you can't have a thought without a thing. This arises simultaneously, and he says they are supported by the one. Now, if you want to know this, you want to experience it, check with your consciousness. Any thought, you can close your eyes now. Think of an apple, and you can see an apple in your mind. You can see an apple in your mind. Yeah? Now realize that it is supported by consciousness. That thought, that image that you are experiencing or seeing, mentally seeing, is within consciousness. It is supported by consciousness, awareness. You cannot think of an apple without knowing or being aware of the thought of the apple. So that one, consciousness, existence, whatever you want to call. The last one, knowledge and ignorance are interrelated. Real knowledge arises by inquiring, for whom both knowledge and ignorance occur. Beautiful one. So knowledge and ignorance. So everything that you know in life can be divided into two. Simple, that there are things that you know. So let's say this right hand has everything that you know. And then there are things that you do not know. And add on things that you don't even know that you do not know. So this comprises of your knowledge, and this comprises of ignorance. I know things, and there are things that I do not know. He says, find out who is it in the middle that is apart from the things that you know and the ones that you do not know. Who is the knower of all the knowledge and the ignorance. You don't need more knowledge to realize the self. You don't need more knowledge. You've got to realize who is the one that knows or does not know, because that one never changes. That's a beautiful verse. Real knowledge arises by inquiring, for whom both knowledge and ignorance occur. That's what I was getting at. Yeah, so 10 verses. Check this book out. It's beautiful. If you can get hold of it, get one. I'm not sure whether it's available on Amazon, but on the website of the Ramana Ashram, I ordered them from there. They are damn. I mean, I was going to say that they are damn cheap. I do not understand why the books that can change your life are the cheapest and nobody wants to buy them. This book is priced at 20 rupees. 20 rupees. So if you're in America or in the States, that's like about 25 pence. And if you're in Europe, it's like about 20p. Again, so sorry, in America it would be 25 cents. You have the cents to the dollar. And in the Europe you have the pence to the pound. So about 20p. 20p. For life-changing information, wisdom. Thanks. I'll see you tomorrow. Stay blessed.